long ways to be here. I've never been in the East. I recognize this area being where our founding fathers first made their stand. And let me tell you something about the Constitution. I believe the Constitution is an inspired document. And I believe the Constitution is a blueprint for this government and any other government in the world. I have spent the proper form that the Constitution lays out for a government will work anywhere in this world. And this world really does need that. I mean, it's local government. It's not central government. I want to express another thing. It's been expressed here today somehow. But you know, our founding fathers fought against the greatest army in the world. And they won. But let me stop and let you think about something. We're down the line 200 years from the time my wife talks about our Pilgrim Fathers coming here. 200 years down American history, and we still don't have our freedoms and liberty. 200 years. It's only been about 250 years since we got the Constitution. So we went without the Constitution for as long as we've had it. Now, one thing that our founding fathers was sure they didn't want. They did not want a central government. They had just got through whipping the strongest government in the world. They no longer wanted a central government. And they wrote a constitution where we wouldn't have a central government. And what have we allowed to happen today? We have a central government that has unlimited power, at least thinks they do. And then we have a society that turns to the federal government from, cradle to death. You know, what are we going to do about that? We have an inspired document that says that that's not the way we're supposed to be. We're not supposed to live that way. We're not supposed to be teaching our children that way. You know, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. I pledge so much that people said, well, you don't believe in the government. Well, yes, I do. I pledge allegiance to the government. But I pledge allegiance to the Republic form of government. Isn't that what we pledge allegiance to? So if we have a flagpole here, and we got our American flag on top, and I know that's proper and it's beautiful up there, but when we stop to think about the proper form of government, which flag really should be on top that represents we the people that are state? But there's another flag we should have.
Christian flag.
Christian flag? What other flag should be flying up there?
Don't try
on top, really. And wouldn't it be our county flag in that where we get to represent we the people, represents our republic form of government? We the people get to nominate and vote for our county commissioners. We the people, that's our republic form of government exercise. And we the people get to nominate and elect our county sheriff. And we pay our county sheriff to do what? One thing. Protect us. Protect our life, liberty, and property. And so, when we talk about allegiance, we really need to start to think about our allegiance needs to be come back at home. Government closest to we the people. That's what our founding fathers intended. They didn't intend a big national central government. No, they intended for us to have local government where we the people had a vote and we the people had representatives. And let me bring that a little closer to home. You know, we have a big United States, it's beautiful, and we know that the federal government, our Constitution gives the government some jobs to do, like protect our borders, gives the government some things to do, like weights and measurements, for example. You know, we can't have a foot be in one place in Nevada and another foot being, you know, so that's something that the central government should have something to do with. But that's about the limit. That's about where it should stop. Our 10th Amendment, what does it say?
States
You know,
rights.
everything that the Constitution hasn't given to the government to do, it's back to we, the states, and we the people. So our founding fathers didn't have any intent that we'd have a central government with all this power. Now, I want to, okay, this is a picture of prior, I'm about done through here, I just want to make sure. This is a picture of Metro. This is by county sheriff. They, when we the people went up to the area where the cattle were being corralled, what did we, I don't want to go into a big long story here, but let me tell you something. The night before the 12th of April, I had word that the BLM was leaving. The county sheriff on the 9:30 in the morning come and told me the BLM was gone. Well, about 7:30 in the morning told me the BLM was gone. At 9:30 we met with the county sheriff on below these flags. We never said one thing about cattle. We never said one thing about BLM or anything like that. But we the people had one thing in mind. And what did we have in mind? We was protesting the sheriff. What was we telling the sheriff to do? We told the sheriff to do what? Does anybody know?
Disarm BLM agents.
Yeah, say that loud.
Disarm the federal agents and put the guns at the pole.
Yeah, that's what we said. We the people said that. And why would we say disarm the federal government? You know, why don't you make it clear? I'm not saying disarm them, those agents or whoever they is, individual. They were just welcome to carry guns and exercise their First Amendment right. But let me tell you something. Those people as federal officers, if they kind of call themselves federal officers, I'd call them federal goons. They have no right to point those guns at we the people, and we haven't even had them pointed at us except to the snipers. And what the people said is disarm them. Well, if the county sheriff would have did what the people said, would we ever had to face this army, federal army? No, we wouldn't have had to face them. And that's what we the people asked, disarm them. And they didn't do it. Okay, now here's, I want you to look at this picture real close. You see this picture a lot of times on the media, and you see there's 3 or 4 cars up here in front, and you see a half a dozen men around there, and they have guns and all that. That's all you ever see on the media. But I want you to look really close. Look up the voice. This is like looking up a voice. Start seeing all the cars there. I counted on one photo. I counted 57 government vehicles. All 57 of those government vehicles had armed men in it, more than one. They all was pointing their guns at we the people. Not just 1 or 2 down here, all of these people were pointing their guns at us. And so I'm saying there's 200 people pointing their guns at we the people. Now if you want to go back, go a little bit further. Yeah, I don't know. See if you can go ahead, I don't know, sure. These are all American government. Look how they look. Look what they're doing. Now, go a little more. Now, I want you to show this. This is what we look like on the other side of the fence.
Yeah.
Is anybody, you see any arms? I mean, there's... Okay. We didn't have we wasn't pointing our guns at them. They were pointing their guns at us. So the media says Bundy come with an armed standoff against the federal government. No, we didn't. We come protesting the county sheriff, and the federal government's pointing their guns at us. These, I don't know, let's keep it going through there, and it's just sort of... Okay. Anyway, this is what we the people look like on the we the people side of the fence. You see what the government looked like on their side of the fence. Does that look like our federal government? Is that the way this?
Helicopter.
It's not your helicopter.
So anyway, You know, I guess we ought to get to the point of a question and answer. We can ask any question. I want to answer one question. I want one person to ask me a question. Has anybody got a question?
Somebody.
I do.
Okay.
I watched most of it, and when I talked to you, and my heart just breaks at one another, and that our government can do that. But what would you personally have done different? Not, you know, the government or anything, but what would you personally have done different, if anything?
Okay, she asked, what would I personally done different? And let me tell you something. This is a little bit personal, and you know, I don't really like to share this too much. But my wife did share it somewhat. Each day, and let's say each night when I went to bed, I had no idea what I was going to do tomorrow. I had no plan. I had no idea what I was going to do tomorrow. But I did have faith that the Lord would guide me. And when I got up in the morning, I'd pray, and I still didn't know what I was going to do. And then as the day started, like when I was going forth up there, you see the militia escorting me towards the, you know, up to talk to the sheriff. You know, all of a sudden, I had something come in my mind, like disarm the BLM. So when you say what difference would you do, I wouldn't do nothing different. I had the guidance I needed, and I tried to follow it. And these are the cowboys that were under the bridge, and they met up with We the People. We the People knelt down on their knees and prayed, and you see these cowboys praying. So what we did there was all under the direction of prayer, I guess, and we did feel the Lord's Spirit. I think anybody that was there witnessed that Spirit being there. Turn to the last one on that page. I want the one with the last one, okay, that one there. What does this say? It says the West has now been won. Remember, has the West been won, or has the fight just begun? When we got done with this this protest, we put this sign up. My son and Ryan put this sign up. In other words, as far as we're concerned, and the West has been won. Now the government wasn't willing to give up now, so they arrested us and put us in jail. But what did they do when they arrested and put us in jail? As soon as we never got one witness before the jury, but by using their own witnesses, we got 2.5 witnesses to get up, and they basically was ready to give up. And the federal government did give up, just like they give up here. I need to finish this story, but I guess I better finish. But the federal government did give up. They dismissed it and dropped all charges. Now, whether it's all over with, maybe not. But what I'm saying, and I said this when I come out of the jail, the BLM, Bureau of Land Management, or the federal government, has set their last fire. We're not going to put up with that no more.
Great.
I couldn't find the right picture, but when the BLM left, they were basically mandated by We the People, and we give them 1 hour to leave. And when they had 1 hour to leave, and this was not We the People actually saying this, our county sheriff finally, one of his deputies finally stepped up, named Tom Roberts, and he stepped up and got between BLM and We the People, and he told BLM that they had 1 hour to leave. And when they did leave, and there was 107 vehicles went on the freeway and left. And this 107 vehicles, I estimated, had at least 200 armed, I don't know what you call them. I can't call them officers, I can't call them police, I could call them goons, but they had 200 of them, 207 vehicles left, and there was 10 vehicles went up the wash, so there's 217 vehicles left that compound. This was after the FBI had left and after the contract cowboys had left. And so that's how many government people with arms were at the. And so I asked a question. I asked this to the militia. Where in the heck did those 200 plus armed army, where did they go? Where are they today? Who are they harassing today? Who are they running out of business? Whose cattle are they killing? Whose rights are they taking away? You know, don't get me mad, but I am a little bit mad about the media. They never showed those 200 people with their arms going up the road. You know, the city Mesquite harbored them, housed them, harbored them. What's wrong with our governments? What's wrong with our local governments? If there was a foreign government come in with their army, wouldn't we do something about it? And here we have a government army within ourselves. And let me tell you, you know this, not only BLM and Park Service, but Indian Affairs, you know, Homeland Security, FBI, on and on and on, they all have an army. I know, God bless us and thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Mr. and Mrs. Bundy. Now, there should be no doubt. You hear stories like this, you know, the sad part is if you really research this and dig into it, you'll realize that in their county, you know, this became news when they were the last ranching family there. They're 53, and they're all gone. So these stories they're not unique, they're actually familiar. They're stories that just don't make it to our ears. So thank you very, very much, Clive and Carol. Thank you for all that you do, not just today, but what you've done every day. Thank you very, very much. We're getting close to winding down, but we're not quite done yet. We still got a few things going on. I've got some surprises for you, imagine that. Alright, we kind of went through our agenda. We're ahead of schedule, which is kind of an oddity for me. I'm probably, like my dad said, I'm probably going to be late to my own funeral. But today we're ahead of schedule, which means we get to cover a few things as a surprise for you folks. And one announcement I want to make, this lovely lady right here in the red, white, and blue cowboy hat, right here. Yep, Bobby Newman. You stand up, please. Let the folks see you.
Come on, Bobby.
This is my friend Bobby Newman. Now, one of the luckiest guys on the planet is around here somewhere. His name is Peter Newman, who is lucky enough to call this beautiful lady his bride. They've been married 50 years, everybody! Let's hear it for the Newmans. Yep, and today's the big day, 50 years.
Thank you.
Come on up here.
Peter.
Where is Peter?
Oh boy. Here's a lady, every time I go somewhere and she's there at an event, she don't let me get too far, and I see this big smiling face looking at me, and I give my hug, and all is better. Here's a couple of folks that they're in the game. You know, they wear their heart on their sleeve, and we just love them to pieces. They do a lot for us, and they support the event every single year. So thank you and congratulations, Bobby and Peter.
Thank you, Dave.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And Peter, I don't know how you did it. I don't know how you did it.
There he is. There he is.
Somehow, some way, you found a woman with nerves of steel that can tolerate you.
Listen, it's not.
Come up here and talk into the mic. You tell everyone how much you love that girl. Get up here.
It's not 50 years, ladies and gentlemen. It's been 50 weeks. Okay? I don't think I'd be able to live without her. I'd probably starve to death, that's for sure. I'd be broke, drunk, in a gutter somewhere. We got married in the military, we met in high school, and we've been together ever since. That's why we were short. Can I give every young man, every non-married young man, a piece of advice? And I give this to my son and every other young man that I know that's not married. Give your wife, if she knows how to handle the checkbook, if she knows how to handle money, give her the money. You make it, she spends it, and I tell you what, you will be happy. She takes care of you. My wife pays all the bills, she rubs my belly, feeds me, and I'm happy. I'm happy. What more do I want? Yeah. What more does any other guy want? Thank you very much. Oh. Thank you. Oh.